It's New Year time. It's time for New Year resolutions. Why do we all do New Year resolution now? This period punctuates a particular time. It's a cutoff. It's like something happening on 31st night and the 1st. It gets this feeling of hope that we will achieve some of the things that we want to do going forward. New Year feels like a moment of renewal, of fresh beginnings and fresh starts. That's why we sit down and plan on New Year goals or tasks that we want to do. But do you know, statistics show that New Year tasks or New Year goals that we keep do not have a great win percentage. A survey in the US showed that over 50% of Americans regularly, every year, make a list of New Year goals that they have planned for next year. And guess what? 90% of them give up before even half the year is done. 90%. Most of them, in fact 30 to 40% of them give up by the mid of February, 15th of February. That poor hit rate. Let's look at why do New Year resolutions fail? How can we make them work? Once we understand this, it will be fairly easier for us to plan and make them work and succeed. So let's jump in. One of the biggest issues I have seen with people's New Year resolution is that they want something big happening very quickly. You need to be realistic in your goal. I've seen people planning for a six-pack in 3 months, people wanting to lose some 15 kgs in 6 months. It doesn't happen that way. Just because it's New Year and you wished it that way, it won't happen. You need to be realistic in your goals. Make a realistic plan. Start small, doesn't matter. Because finally it's the consistency of the action which is more important. Start small, have smaller goals, take it and then move on and grow on that. Okay, so it's very important. For example, when I long back decided to do push-ups in the morning. So I didn't start the first day saying that I will do 50 push-ups. Okay, so I started with just telling myself that I will do at least 5 push-ups every morning. The idea was not the quantity of push-up, the idea was to make me do it, be consistent. Once I spent a month doing it and feeling that now it had become a natural behavior for me to get out from the bed and do this, I started increasing it to 10, to 15, to 20 and then more. So start small. Be realistic in your goals. Don't try to change something very rapidly and then you'll fail. The second thing is to plan. Whatever goals you've taken, put a horizon and plan. How will you do it? It has to be a SMART goal. What does SMART goal mean? It has to be specific. It has to be measurable. It has to be achievable. It has to be relevant. And it has to be time bound. So you need all these parameters. And of course you need to have a way to measure this. Your progress. So measure your progress. Have a time bound thing. Keep it small like I said earlier. Do it and keep measuring. So how will you measure? There are different apps. So if your goal is to say in the first month start with doing say 5,000 steps or walk, and then by the end of 6 months to graduate to say 6,000, and by the end of the year to do 10,000 steps and be consistent at it, you download an app which can measure it, or your watch which takes the data and feeds it to your phone. So you are tracking it. It's a measurable thing. Okay, so then it forces you to complete the target that you have kept. It's a smaller unit of the larger goal. That's the way where you can make it happen. The third one, commitment, or you can call it accountability. You need to be committed to this. You cannot say something like, okay, I'm going to leave alcohol from the first morning. I will drink as much as I want on 31st night, and from first morning I'm off alcohol for good. Doesn't work like that. Plan, have a realistic plan, tell yourself how you are going to taper it off, but be accountable for it. I see a lot of people who try very honestly for the first 15 days or whatever, go to the gym, stop drinking, whatever your goal was, and then one day of weakness where you missed the gym or you sat with friends and had a small drink, then it happened a couple of times, and you say, what the hell, it's okay, it's gone, I'll try again some other day, I will start that again, and just go back to your old self. That's not commitment. It's okay, you failed, come back, try it again. Okay, don't give up. I would also ask you, if needed, to have a accountable guide or a person who keeps an eye on your progress and on your commitment, so you share it with him or her. It could be your partner, if you're who can keep an eye on things like, I had once taken this one of the goals that I would not speak ill about anybody. Okay, and usually you sit and you crib about somebody or the other in the office, in the family, among friends. And I told some people around me to keep an eye on me. And if it ever comes out that I was speaking ill of somebody, just point it out to me. Say, look, I think you just said something negative about someone. That's all, leave it. To me, that was my accountability coach or guide who was pointing out so that I could be more careful, and I would say, oh, I made a mistake, so I'll be more careful now. You could have, suppose if it's your goal is a physical goal, physical fitness goal, then you could have your personal trainer or the coach being your accountability coach. Or it could be just, if it's something to do with your career, your career coach. But you need to find a way to hold yourself accountable to the commitment you have made to yourself. The fourth one, I would want you to be a little flexible and consistent. Okay, so both have to be together. It's okay if, say, one day you are not well and you can't do that jog or the push-ups that you committed you will do on that day. So you can't do it. You're not well. You can't do it. But your flexibility should be there to say, it's okay. That's a genuine reason. But be consistent that when you get well, you come back and make up for that steps or that kilometers or that number of push-ups that you missed on those 3 days. So suppose you do, say, 50 push-ups every morning. You now 3 days you didn't do that 150 to catch up over the next, say, 15-20 days. So if it's 15 days, then say, I'll do 10 more every day and catch up on this. It's just training your mind to say that this is not negotiable. There could be reasons where you miss something, but you will catch up. that tells your mind that you are flexible, but you're also consistent. Finally, it's a very unused trick in the game is to celebrate small successes. Suppose you wanted to lose 10 kilos. When you lose the first 1 kg, please talk to your friends, your family, and announce this success. Celebrate. It's a small one. There is still 9 kgs to go. But you must recognize the small successes and achievements that you're getting and do it. Celebrate it with friends, with family, with people. If it's something to do with your professional, with your office colleagues. But it's important to celebrate. So, in summary, just remember this: the failure rate on New Year resolution is extremely high, okay, close to 90% plus. But you can be in that 10%. Make sure you don't pick up unrealistic goals, make it realistic. You stay committed to it, be consistent, be adaptable. Don't, if you miss some day, catch up. But tell your mind, keep messaging your mind that this is non negotiable. I'm going to do it. And of course, celebrate success. I'll be very happy to hear about your commitments for the next year and what resolutions you're making in the comment section below. And I can wish you all the best in your resolutions. And of course, have a wonderful new year and stay, like always, unstoppable.